How's it going? It's great to see you all. Quick question, raise of hand. How many of you have seen myself or Jessica at some point over the last 9 or 10 years? Can I hear you? I can't maybe see you as well. Yes, thank you so much for having us back. I can't even tell you how much it means to me. 2016 was the first time that I got the opportunity to spend some time with you all at Delta Vacations in a smaller classroom with about 100 people. And now, I got an upgrade. And I'm here with you on the big stage. So thank you so much for trusting in me over the years. It means the world. This is literally the highlight of my speaking year, is to be with you all. So thank you again. Now, speaking of upgrade, I got a treat for you today. Because a secret that I've never told you before is all the super strategic things that I've given you, the gems over the years, they weren't from me. They were from my better half. And so today, you get both strategy and implementation. She's been doing this for 15 years, and she has earned the right to be on this stage. So please give a warm welcome to Jessica Perlman.
Well, thank you so much. I feel so honored to be here and share the stage with Corey today. I have enjoyed meeting many of you over the past years, whether I was sitting in the audience while Corey was presenting or being part of the presenters. So I'm excited to be here today. And like Corey said, I'm wearing a lot of hats. You know, I wear the hat as I'm a mom of 2 great kids and also a business owner. And I'd have to say one of the other hats that I wear a lot of times is the travel planner in the family. I'm the one who comes up with the dreams and the wishes and the hopes for our family. And guess who I have right next to me all the time? A travel advisor. Somebody helping behind the scenes. Just like I help Corey behind the scenes, the travel advisor definitely helps me behind the scenes. And so I think it's important for you all to know today that you have come a long way, and you should be very proud of the memories and everything that you create for your clients. What a beautiful, beautiful thing that you bring to them. And I know from personal experience, there's been moments where things have gone wonderful and where things have gone awry. And you've been there no matter what. I remember that time whenever we were in Punta Cana. We took our kids. We were at this great resort. Number one, the travel advisor knew exactly where to put us, next to the water park, of course.
Yep.
And so we had the best time. But kind of as you can imagine, 7 days at the water park, our kids were exhausted. And we equally were exhausted. And the one thing I didn't think about is, man, when we get to that airport and we're waiting and we got to get food and my kids are tired and there's a lot of people around, like the last thing I want to have to deal with is all that. But our travel advisor, Karen, sent us a note and said, hey, guess what? I've got you access to the concierge lounge at the airport, so relax, get the kids some food, and have a wonderful trip home. So those are the moments that we know you all create every day.
So we also know that since I last spoke to you 2 years ago, times have changed. Something has come along that has been a bit of a disruptor in your industry and in mine, by the way. And just as I was doing research for your industry over the last few months, this thing popped on my screen.
Boo.
Yeah, let's boo. I've never heard a boo before, but this is boo. Stop paying for travel agents.
Boo.
ChatGPT does it for free. Copy these 7 prompts. Yeah, that's the negative part of this presentation, by the way. It'll only go up from there, I promise. But if I'm honest with you, it is a threat. It is something that we need to not ignore, but instead embrace. This is something that we need to educate your audience on, that it is no substitute for you. Trust me, we are prime examples of that. But it's your job to educate your audience that they need you on their travel journey. Now, one experience that we had real quickly, Jess shared Punta Cana, but I have to share my Judy story. Judy was also a travel advisor of ours, and I just want to share an example with you all where ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever your tool of choice could have never done what we needed this to do. You want to start us off on that?
Yeah, so this was an amazing experience that we had, not only with Corey's parents and his brother, but our kids. We went on an Alaskan cruise, and what an amazing event that was. The breathtaking views, the nature and wildlife, and I have to tell you, everything was just going perfect. Everyone having a great time, and then, of course, it wasn't all of a sudden.
So we had gotten up that morning, and we were supposed to go on that beautiful train ride in Saskatchewan or some part of Alaska. You probably know where I'm talking about. And there was a rock slide, and our whole day was ruined. And before we could even wake up in the morning, I had already gotten, my cell was ringing from Judy saying, hey, I know about the rock slide. I already have your money coming back into your account for the excursion. And do you know what you want to do today? And we were like, no. And we have a whole day. She's like, do you like to scooter ride? And I was like, do I like to scooter ride? I own a scooter. Of course I like to scooter ride. She's like, who and whoever else wants to go down to downtown, grab 2 scooters, tell them to take you on a map of all these different destinations, and you're gonna end at a restaurant where you will have the best salmon cakes of your life. And Judy was right. My brother and I took a scooter and spent that day traveling around each destination there and ended at this little place that didn't even look open. And we had the best salmon cakes of our life. And let me tell you all something very, very clearly. ChatGPT could not have done that. So thank you, Judy.
Yeah, thank you, Judy. And Judy has since retired from the travel industry, which makes us very sad. But as you can see, she left such a powerful memory to us. And those extra personal touches were so important. And so when we're thinking about this new age and the future of AI may be powerful, but I gotta tell you, it's not personal.
So I just want to have you all say this with me. I was thinking about how to say that and to remind ourselves kind of as a mantra. So if you don't mind participating with me, this is something I'd like us all to say together. I, not AI, make travel dreams come true.
Make travel dreams come true.
So, and that's it. So our hashtag, one of our hashtags for this weekend is I, not AI. Are you guys good with that? I, not AI. Real advisors win. All right? So, Jess, how do we AI-proof our business as travel advisors?
Yeah, I think that's a really great question, right? Because we want to embrace AI because it does help us in some ways, right? But we don't want to lean on it so heavily that it takes us out of the industry. And so I would say that it's just really important, especially when it comes to social media, that by remembering that you are the product, not the destination. And so what I mean by that is we're really going to encourage you today to show up on your social as your true self. We want to see you and the real form so we can get to know you and start building trust with you.
So two quick things, stepping away from the presentation for a second, which Jess hates when I do, but I can't help myself. Number one is, can you have the slides? Of course you can. You all know me, right? I always give you the slides. So at the end of the presentation, I'll make sure that you have a way to collect all these slides just so you have that. Secondly, we looked at a lot of your profiles, a lot. And the number one mistake that we see is that you're selling the wrong thing. You're selling the destination. We know about the destination. We can get there. Your threats, your competitors can get us the destinations. You are the product. Does that make sense to you? We need to know what you can do for us. You need to sell you, not the destination. You're the product, not the destination. Everybody clear on that? Moving forward? All right. So how do we do that? How do we go beyond the destinations? Well, the first thing that we do is your expertise earns our trust. So instead of seeing brochures, flyers, things of that nature, we want to hear your thought leadership. We want to hear your education towards us. We want to know what we don't already know. I was saying to Jess backstage that part of the reason that ChatGPT can never compete with you is we don't know what we don't know. And in order for ChatGPT to work, we have to prompt it a question. But when Jess told me that Punta Cana reminder, we didn't even know there was a concierge lounge to even ask what we should do when we arrive. So it's your job to educate us on the journey. You are I like to call you the lifeguard while we are going out and exploring in the ocean. You are telling us things that we don't already know.
Yeah, and your personality is going to differentiate you from the rest, right? So if you see that personality come through on your socials, we can see these beautiful pictures of destinations, but then let's mix it with some of that personality. Let's get to know you. Let's get to know your agency. Let's get to know the people behind your team who make these dreams come true. And then really the stories that you tell inspire us. And those could be stories that you tell as you're taking a video whenever you're traveling around or viewing a new property. Or these could be the stories that your clients share with you and then you are able to tell to your audience.
The bottom line is travel is deeply personal. So make it personal. No more scrolling through your socials and seeing brochure after brochure after brochure. We need to feel that connection with you. When I told that Judy story, when she told the Karen story, there was a personal connection. And part of that personal connection starts on your social media. So, remember I just explained that Judy story, and you could feel the inspiration, right? You could feel the heart. I want you all to think for a second. I want you all to take a moment and think introspectively for a second and think about a time where you saved the day, where you were the Judy, where you either did something when something went wrong, or you made something special, or you made an experience for a family or a couple that they will truly never forget. Do you have that story? Do you have that time that you remember that? All right, I want you to take a second now. This is the only major participation we're going to do, so bear with us. But when you hear my voice, please come back to us. I want you to partner up for a second, okay? So there should be about 8 of you at the table, so it'll be 1 and 1. And you're each just going to take 60 seconds, and I want you to share your Judy story with the person next to you, and then let that person share her story with you. Does that make sense? Can you guys do that with us real quick? So let's each take 1 minute and share our story together. Ready? Begin.
Now I know why she put our names on her water bottle.
They hear me okay? Make sure the other person has a chance to go. So we'll go.
At 38, just really start to wrap it up.
This is good, huh?
Yeah. Start to wrap. When do you want them to start to wrap it up?
About 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. How do you think we're doing on time?
I can't quite.
It's right here.
Oh, I know, but it's hard to tell because.
But I think we're doing good.
Yeah, cadence-wise.
They gave us 50, so yeah.
Yay.
That's good. Okay, begin to wrap it up.
Okay.
All right, thanks everybody. Thank your partner.
Okay, let's bring
Thank
it
your
in.
partner. If you can hear me, clap. Clap with me. Clap. Twice, 3 times. All right. Good job, good job, good job, good job. All right, now I want you to take out your phones. Oh my gosh, a keynote speaker said take out your phones. What's the dumbest thing you could possibly say on stage is take out your phones. But hey, we're social media speakers. So I want you to take out your phones and I want you to use that QR code. And I want you to play along with us, and hopefully technology works, and you know that this is the part of the presentation where it may work and it may not. But let's see if it does. And so as you get over there, it's going to ask you for a text code, and you can pop that in. And I want you to tell us what words came to mind when you heard the storyteller tell their story. What words came to mind about the way she or he was telling that story? What emotions? And I'll just kind of give you a quick example. When I was telling the Judy story, Jess, what were some words that you heard from me?
Oh gosh, like relief, you know?
Yeah.
Not having to worry about what the next plan is, and appreciation for Judy and thinking about us.
So let's switch over to the Mentimeter slide. You'll see this QR code again. Oh my gosh, it is working. Wow, you guys, you're doing amazing. Compassion, care. I am so impressed. Should I have ever been worried about a Delta
right?
Vacations crowd?
Not.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Appreciation, helpful, care, advocate. Take a picture of this slide, people.
Yes,
this is amazing.
above and beyond.
Oh, I got thumbs up, heartwarming. This is, wow. Wow, wow, wow. You are blowing my mind. This is amazing. These words, folks, are what we want you to take with you to social media, okay? These are the words that we want you to exemplify when you are talking, shooting video, saying voice, whatever you're doing on social, bring this with you. Wow, that is powerful.
That's cool to see.
Okay, we can switch back to the presentations, my friends. Thank you. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay, so be yourself. Everyone else is taken, and that's really what that was about, is bring your full self. Uh-oh, you're laughing. Why are we laughing? You like that? What happened? What did we do?
I think you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
You made me nervous. Did I steal that from somebody? Probably. We don't. So if you're funny, be funny. If you're not funny, don't be funny. Bring whatever your own strengths are to your social. If you're spontaneous, so many of you are clever and quick. If you are more thoughtful and introverted like Jess, you can still bring that to social. Just as many people resonate with thoughtfulness and patience and calmness as they do with energy and this and humor and all that. Just be yourself. All right, Jess, flight plan essential number 3. What do we got?
Well, it says the riches are in the niches, especially on social.
We were having an argument backstage. I say niches, and you say...
niches.
But it rhymes with riches.
Which rhymes with quiches.
Oh, quiches. That's what I should have said. All right, well, whatever. So when we say the riches are in the niches, especially on social, what do we mean by that?
Yeah, well, we want to be really specific. And so we don't want to water you down so much, but we do want to just have specific language and keywords available on your social profiles. So if you look at this example here, you can tell pretty clearly, like, there's a word that jumps out multiple times on the screen, whether it's in the profile name or the bio or the text on the grid. Couples, right? Couples, 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 couples. So this particular advisor is targeting and looking for an ideal client of couples. So if I'm a couple, I know I'm in the right place.
So once again, as we did an audit, the second biggest mistake that we make is that we're too broad. We say that we help solve travel problems. We'll take you wherever you want to go. And Jess can attest to this because she is a travel scroller. She will scroll by that. You have to talk to your people. The more narrow you get, the better you will do on social. Let me say that one more time. The more narrow you get, the better, the more engagement you'll get, the more conversions, the more business you'll get. But you have to get through the noise and focus in on the areas, the verticals that matter to you most.
Absolutely. And I think that, getting clear on that unique audience and being, platform specific on that, using the words your travelers use. I think this is so important because we will go and we will have, we'll come up with the words that we use, right? How we describe ourselves. Maybe a great example, perhaps, is that you call yourselves travel advisors. Well, what might a client or a potential client put in that search bar? Travel agents. So it's just little tweaks like that that we can make, that we're really using the words our travelers would use more than we maybe use the words that we would use.
And the most important thing I can possibly tell you on this particular category of niching yourselves is to make your audience feel seen. So the example I can say here is Jess was navigating social recently. She told me about this, and she's scrolling through, and she's following hundreds of you in research for this, and one stood out to her, and I remember her telling me it, and she shared it with me. She hit the little share button, and it was a travel advisor who was talking about getting your teenagers off of their cell phones on vacation. So why did Jess stop to that one? Why did she engage with that one? Because she felt seen. She felt heard. All the times that you all share content on social, the one common denominator is because you felt seen. So as you are creating your content and you're niching, you're narrowing your focus, make your audience feel seen.
Oh, no.
This was one that I saw on here. When my husband says we don't need to plan any more vacations this year and we should try to save money.
I feel seen.
Jess said she feels seen. As do I. Okay, so another poll question, so get your phones ready again. What stage of life for you are you most comfortable serving right now? So, we think about demographics and narrowing your market. You could think about ages and, male versus female and things of that nature. But I like thinking about like stage of life, because that's really where you caught Jess in that post.
Absolutely. I mean, you caught me in like a couple of different places. Like, first of all, I'm a mom, so hey, they're talking about families, keeping kids, right? You caught me with the devices, because come on, the devices are the pull of our children's generation. It's hard to get them off of those and involved in family activities. So I felt that was very relatable and definitely felt seen in my stage of life.
So go ahead and hit that QR code and let us know what stage of life do you feel most comfortable serving at this moment. And let's go ahead and switch over to Mentimeter and say what we got. The QR code is still there for you if you need it. So we have empty nesters, retired, family, young adult, young couples, middle-aged,
Honeymooners.
You see some more, Jess?
Gen X.
Retired. So this is so good, you guys, because retired and honeymooners are completely different audiences. And so when you do your social media content, you've got to focus on one of those audiences. These are absolutely Gen X, so on and so forth. Very good. Okay, we can switch back to the presentation. All right, Jess, so we mentioned the big behemoth in the room, the elephant in the room, whatever you want to call it, with ChatGPT, and we know that it's something that is not, we made that very clear, going to overtake this industry or anything like that, but boy, is it a useful tool.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to AI, your results and your experience with it are only as good as the prompts that you give the tool. I mean, it really is a tool, right? So we have to educate AI on who we are and who we're looking for. And that's something that we always tell our clients at the very beginning. If you're going to start using AI, wonderful. But start having a conversation with AI, almost like an interview, and let them get to know you, and then have them ask you questions and go back and forth and back and forth. You can put all this information into AI about your ideal client buyer out there, but if you don't ask the simple question, what questions do you have for me? And then you have AI, and then we have this conversation and interview going back and forth. So with this particular ChatGPT example, this is acting as a travel advisor who specializes in your niche. Ask questions to help define my ideal client, age, stage of life, travel goals, etc., and then create a profile for my unique traveler. This is how we're going to utilize the AI tool to kind of find our people.
So for the rest of your experience using that particular AI tool, it will now know who you're talking to. So anything you ask it to do in the future, it has that background information. By raise of hand, how many of you have already done that with your AI tool of choice? How many of you will do that from now on moving forward? Raise your hand. That's great to see. Thank you. Okay, so our flight plan essential number 4, which goes right along with that. So now we've started to figure out who your unique buyer is, your unique traveler. We can get more specific on that, the better. Then we're going to take that content out and build a better bio, be the one they find. Now, I want to tell you something really quickly. We're focused on Instagram and Facebook today because why? Because those are the 2 platforms that you should be focused on most. Okay, we only had 45 minutes to talk to you, so I could tell you all day why that's the case. I'm just going to tell you Instagram and Facebook are where you should be. Understand? Good? Got it? Good. All right, what are we on this one, Jess?
Okay, so yes, when we are looking at this particular bio, I really want you to think to yourself, I mean, we live in such a fast-paced social media world, right? So we don't have a lot of time to capture the attention of people who are scrolling or people who visit our profile. Within 10 seconds, a stranger needs to know, like, what we do, who we are, who we serve, why would I follow you or trust you or, hand over my travel dreams to you? I wanted to show you an example of this, and there's really some opportunities in real estate on Instagram where you can take advantage of that using those keywords that we've been talking about so people can find you when they search and whenever they're looking for your services. So this particular advisor, they use that, you have your username at the very top, Lillian Mills, right? Then you have what's called your name. And that's where she says, Lillian Mills, Travel Advisor, Member Virtuoso Agency. That is a really key area. If I was Lillian, actually, I wouldn't repeat my name because that's such key real estate. I would not repeat my name because it's already in my username, and I would make sure that I put a couple other really focused keywords in there. So somebody's going to, and I'll tell you right now, the younger generation is not going to Google search for things, they're going to the social media profiles search bar. Okay, so if you're going to Instagram search, look, travel agent, Delta Vacations agent, whatever those keywords might be for you, that's where we want you to pop up. And then as you travel down that bio, you see where you have a little bit more of a profile information, right? So this is where I want you to be thinking about those key things. What do you do? Who do you serve? And what sets you apart from the rest? Because I really think a strong credibility statement is important here. We'll say to our clients, like, what can you say about yourself or your business that no one else can say? I've worked in the business for 15 years. That's amazing. Let's make sure we put that there. I've helped hundreds of couples have happy honeymoons. That's also too. So those are things that I want you to think about including in this area.
So it's hard, and that's hard to do. So of course, we have ChatGPT, which we'll go to in just a second. So get your phones out again if you wouldn't mind. What specific words should you add to your bio that your ideal client would search on Google or maybe AI or any other search tool of their choice, or even Instagram, as Jess said? But what specific words do you think you need to add to your IG and Facebook bio? And let's go ahead and switch over to Mentimeter. The QR code will be there as well.
Yeah, that'll be available.
So experienced travel agent, yes. Luxury, virtuoso agent, I see there. Adults only, very good if that's the world that you live in.
Specialist.
Bucket list,
Oh.
honeymooners, love it. Destination weddings, yes. Cruise specialist, yes.
Well-traveled, someone said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Absolutely.
Those are great, and I think that it's important to know that I'm a perfectionist, and so I will spend hours trying to come up with the perfect bio and then going to ChatGPT and asking for its input and back and forth. And this is really something that's going to live and breathe on your profile. You're going to tweak it, you're going to change it. You might even look at it quarterly and say, this isn't what my customers are really saying about me, so I need to infuse a couple of more of those keywords into my bio now. So you do work with it over time.
So this is like the new SEO. People used to ask us all the time, what keyword should we put in our website? Well, now it's all about what keyword should we put in our Instagram bio. We can go ahead and switch back to the presentation, please.
Yeah, so I think we have a ChatGPT prompt for you here as well, just to give you an example. If you're struggling with coming up with ideas, or we go back to Chat, who knows us very well, based on the following profile information of my ideal traveler, help me come up with 3 Instagram bio examples. Maybe include an emoji, which would be kind of fun, and might speak to your character. And then as far as character limit, I would give it a limit, just so it knows what parameters you're working inside, so when you take it into Instagram or whatever platform, it can fit nicely.
Yeah, the beauty behind these tools is they already know the parameters that you're doing. So they're so smart, and you can ask it to give you options, as this does here, and it can start to get the brain moving. And then I absolutely recommend personalizing it from there. But let ChatGPT or Gemini or any of the tools do 80% of the work, and then you do the other 20% by personalizing it. Okay, everybody get a picture of that? I know I'm going to send you the slides, but I want to make sure you got that. All right, so our flight plan essential number 5 for you is the client-focused profile turns a scroll into a DM. So now what we've done is Jess did an amazing job of helping you define that bio section. But when people come to your Instagram for the first time, they have an experience, a first impression experience. And I liken this to how we used to talk about websites. When you used to go to websites, you'd have that initial experience with the homepage, the banner image, the navigation links, and all that. And that was your first impression that you could never get back. Well, the same thing goes on Instagram. When we do this right, we can capture their attention now. When we do it wrong, we confuse them and they go somewhere else. So I asked Jess, I said, can you give us some best practices around the profile to make sure that we're doing it the way we should?
Yeah, so there's different parts of your profile that are broken down. We've already talked about kind of the name part and the bio part, but then right underneath that, you'll see these like little circles. Those are called highlights. Those are an opportunity to save the stories that you create into a highlight. But I would be thinking about your website navigation, like you said. What are some of the key terms that you use on your website navigation? That's what I would use there. Or I saw somebody who did destinations, Portugal, Japan. Then you have information that you've shared on your profile saved to that location. So I think that that's one great area that they can utilize. The second one that Corey's going to bring up now is pinned posts. So now you are able to pin up to 3 posts to the top of your Instagram profile feed. So no matter when someone visits, those are the first 3 that they see. So this might be like a website banner or a header image of some sort. So those pinned posts are great. They're really important. If there's something of yours that introduces you and what you're about or what your agency does, I would pin that up to the top. You can see in this example, we just were talking about AI taking over and why should I use a travel advisor? She puts a post right up at the very top. Here's why you should choose me over AI. Here's what I bring to the table. So that's an opportunity for you to use that real estate as well.
And I think this is correct. This is why I love having my wife up here. But on the Reels tab, you can pin Reels as well, if I remember correctly.
You can. You can pin up to 3 Reels as well at the top of your Reels feed. So you have your profile feed, and then you have your Reels feed, and on that area, you can also pin those posts.
I will give you just one extra tip because I was just thinking about it. On that, what we like to do on the Reels tab is, you can see the views on the Reels, and oftentimes we'll get a consistent amount of like 50 views or 100. If you sprinkle the magic pixie dust on those Reels, you know what that pixie dust is? Money. So you give like $100 and you boost the post, you boost the Reel. Those 3 pinned ones will go up very quickly, and probably the thousands of views. So again, that first impression, people see that. There's a little bit of vanity metrics there, but that helps with those pinned Reels as well, and we help a lot of our clients do that as well.
Yeah, I would really say that those first 9 tiles are really important real estate. They definitely, you want to have some of your good material there. You want to have a testimonial. You want to have, those keywords right on the graphics images that you create on the grid.
So yeah, I laughed because I learned this the hard way. So I went to a Jess manages my Instagram. And I went to a conference, and I was posting all these selfies with people, and I was putting it on the grid. And I got a text message from my lovely wife, stop messing with the grid. And she took them all down.
I took them all down.
And so she said, so the deal we have is I'm allowed to put them on the stories that go away in 24 hours, but don't mess with the grid. And she's right, because if a meeting planner is booking me to speak, and they come that day to see if they're going to book me for a speech, and they see 25 selfies, that looks weird. But if you go there now, it looks freaking good, and that's all thanks to her.
And not that I wouldn't use those photos, but I would use them in a storytelling element, right? I do like a photo dump with a carousel post. Look at Corey here, selfie. Look at Corey here, selfie.
Likes to talk about them.
I would incorporate them just in a different way.
All right. Flight plan essential number 6 is the algorithms favor the bold. And what I mean by that is, and this is, by the way, this isn't, all of these are in our book that we wrote called Authentically Social. We will be out in the trade show, and we'll have some books for sale, and come say hi and take a picture with us. We brought a big frame, and just come see us. And by the way, we're going to be here all weekend. We're going to go to the flight museum tonight, and so come ask us questions, nerd out with us. You know, we're not going to love you and leave you. But what I mean by the algorithms favor the bold is that early adopters to features tend to get more engagement than the laggards. And that's because the platforms want to push those features. So on all the platforms, if we're utilizing the newest features, we will get more engagement essentially. So I asked Jess to give us the 3 that she would recommend most on Instagram as of today.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different types of content when we're thinking about that. And you know, if you go deep into some of the features on the profile, you will benefit. And so, especially right now, Reels are a great example of some content out there that we can. Now, I would say that there's almost a separate algorithm for each of these types of content too. So, Reels is going to be your engagement content, your awareness content. You're like, hey, if you don't know anything about me, come find out more about me. Sometimes they're funny, right? We did a funny one just the other day, you know, popping up in a funny office clip. So they could be funny, they could be lighthearted, they could be very quick and punchy, I would say, are your Reels. And then carousel posts are another great example. I would say carousel posts, even to this day, are starting to rise up a little bit, where you can get just as much engagement and awareness with a carousel post. But I do feel like it's a little bit more of a nurturing environment in a carousel. You are maybe diving deeper into a subject matter or tips or giving more information. So you have an opportunity to show that. Be aware that the first and second carousel are the most important ones. So when you talk about including a hook or something that's going to pull someone in, think about it for both of those slides, because the carousel post does give your audience an opportunity to see you 2 times. If they see it and they go by it and they don't swipe, the next time they come, they'll see the second one in your carousel. So that's why I say the first one and that second one needs to kind of be engaging to entice them in.
And as we always, as you all know, Instagram in the initial days was just a photo sharing site, right? And then you'll often hear us say that motion moves the needle on Instagram. And so these are all images. They're just multiple images, so it becomes a slideshow. So multiple images equals a carousel post.
Absolutely, and then the last one is stories, and I don't know how many of you are utilizing stories, but if you were to think of, you know, with your Reels and carousel posts on your feed, maybe that's your storefront, it's kind of, you know, showing people what services you provide. Your stories is kind of like, come on into my store, sit down with me, have a cup of coffee, let's talk about just day-to-day things. So this is where you're out and you're viewing a property, you're on a trip, and you take a bunch of fun little clips and, you know, bring your audience along the way.
All right, so once again, I love to sometimes make Jessica feel a little uncomfortable, so I slipped a slide in that I didn't tell you about, because I can't help it. So she's the Instagram gal, I'm the LinkedIn guy. I love LinkedIn. I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big proponent of it. So I put one LinkedIn slide in. Are you guys okay with that if I share that with you real quick? Okay.
I think he's got like 30 seconds.
You're only giving me 30 seconds? Are you going to like clap me if I go out of time? All right. So here's the deal. This is the one thing I'm going to give you on LinkedIn. It goes with the algorithms favor the bold. The one, you know, we own an agency, and so over the last 2 years, we've been encouraging our clients to do this on LinkedIn because they are pushing it more than any other feature. We're seeing that. And those are LinkedIn newsletters. So just write down LinkedIn newsletters. If you are an agency, a BDM, if you are, you know, playing on LinkedIn, you have corporate clients, whatever the case may be, if you have a following on LinkedIn, once a month, create a newsletter on that platform, because what they do, it's such a beautiful thing. They will email that newsletter out to your subscribers. There is no other feature on LinkedIn that I can say that on that will push it out via email. They'll put it on your news feed. They'll put it on your featured profile. It literally in every piece of LinkedIn real estate. So every year we have clients come back to us and say, man, I have 1,500 subscribers. I have more engagement on these LinkedIn newsletters. Why is that? And I simply say, LinkedIn is pushing it more than anything else. Whatever their newest features are, they're going to push hard. So once a month, LinkedIn newsletter, make it happen. How was that?
That was pretty good.
All right.
I agree. LinkedIn newsletters are great, and it is an opportunity to repurpose content. If you're thinking like, what am I gonna write about? Well, did you have a post that had a long caption that did pretty well? You could turn that into a LinkedIn newsletter. Do you have an email marketing piece that you're already sending out? Copy that sucker and put it into a LinkedIn newsletter. It's a different audience that you're gonna be reaching with the same content.
Great point. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right, so how about some Reels best practices? So if they're shooting Reels, what should they make sure that they do not forget?
Yeah, absolutely. The number one thing is please put captions on your Reels. You would not believe how many, like the percentage keeps going up. It used to be 50%, I think it's now like 81% of people out there are watching videos with the sound off. They would love to see the captions that you have. Now you can use a third-party tool for captions like Captions AI, or you can use the new Edits Instagram app to add your captions in. Or there is even just a little thing on the reel whenever you create it, you can toggle captions. And at the bottom, there'll be very generic, basic captions available. So that would be my first thing, Corey, that I would recommend.
Okay.
The second thing would be if you have the ability to use trending audio, go for it. I think music speaks such in a way that kind of gives us a little bit more of your personality, right? If you think like you're in the car listening to the radio and a song comes on, it has like this deep connection, like, oh, I remember this moment when that happened. So using the music to kind of pull your audience into your environment, I think that's great. There's typically about 50 trending audios that are always happening and always changing. That's available for you to see if you go to some of your insights on your profiles, and you just choose some and have fun with it.
And I think what you've told me is that what you've noticed is when we use trending audio versus just regular music, the engagement tends to be higher. Is that fair to say?
I would say that's fair to say. I would say the other thing is that when I use audio that kind of relates directly back to the source of the video, like if it has a word in it, that makes sense or something, then I think that would be another one.
So this last one is like Jess's pet peeve. So you guys get your pencils ready on this one.
I would just say that before moving on to reel covers, a new thing that Instagram has incorporated into their audio selection is royalty-free audio. So for example, if you're a business or an agency and you are a little bit shy or worried about using audio and not knowing if you have permissions, you don't want to use like the hit song, but you want audio on there, when you go to the audio section, it'll have an opportunity to choose royalty-free.
All right, how about reel covers?
Yeah, okay, so reel covers, this is really important because whenever we see the video, we need to see the context of the video. It can be as simple as you see here, just a one-liner that gives you an idea of what this video is about. But whenever someone sees that video and then they go to your Reels feed, we want them to see another video and see another video and keep watching, almost like that binge watching on Netflix approach.
So get those words on your Reels. All right, real quick, carousel best practices.
Carousels, we want a strong hook. We already talked about this, right? That first and second slide, a strong hook. I'd also say that now they're incorporating audio into carousels, so definitely take advantage of trending audio there. And the last, most important thing about carousels is please, 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 don't take me all the way through a carousel and I get to the end and I'm excited and I'm ready to take the next step, whatever that may be, and there's no call to action. We need some kind of call to action. This example, she gives a lot. She's like, save and follow and blah, blah, blah. I think just make it really simple. Let's have people go to your direct messages, DM me.
Slide into my DMs.
Slide in my DM.
Is that a dating reference or is that
I feel like that's probably not how
we don't know
it's
about
supposed to do, but
I also like the share this with one person. Like if you're doing a reel or even like one of these, I've seen that before. Share this with one person who needs to see it. I like that one.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
All right.
And then, okay, so last one up is stories best practices. So if you haven't used stories, you may have an opportunity to do that today with one of our activities. And so this is the audience engagement. This is where we collect some information from our audience and we build a little bit more rapport and community. You can use some of these engagement stickers, as that's what I've kind of shown on the screen there, where you could do a poll, you could do a question box, you could do like a fun slider of an emoji. So this gives us an opportunity to say to our audience like, hey, where do you think I'm going? Given some options. Or what would you like to see? Like what country are you most interested in? So we're allowing the opportunity for our audience to give us feedback, and then also just showing behind the scenes like we already talked about. Take us on a tour, take us on your travels along the way.
So we're really bullish on stories, and let me tell you why. I know we've got some people in here who are you know, 40 say and below, but doesn't really matter. How many of you, by raise of hand, navigate Instagram primarily just going left to right on stories? Will you raise your hand for me real quick? Okay, I'm seeing, you know, 60, 70, 100, 200 hands. So that should tell you all something in this room, that there are many, many young men and women, whatever you want to call it, who are used to going left and right. I am of the age of going up and down on social. There's a whole demographic in the world there that go left to right. So if we're not doing stories, we are missing a market. We are missing a market, and it's a great way to capture engagement and even get conversions. Maybe better than any other thing you could do on Instagram. So that being said, we really want you all not just to sit in this room and then not do anything. We want you to play this weekend. So we developed a DLVU 2025 Instagram story scavenger hunt that starts right now. So what we want you all to do is to start experimenting with stories as you leave here. This slide will be in the app, so just find it. I don't know exactly where it will be, but if you can't read those details. But we want you to go out and snap a photo together. We want you to come find us in the trade show and snap a photo with us. If you see a Delta Vacations person or a hotel staff that's doing a great job, we want you to take a picture with them and put it in your story. If you love one of the classes that you're gonna see out here, shout out to my friend Neen James, go see her thing out there today. Go share a tip that you learned from her and put that on your story. At the dance, go out there and dance with each other and put that on your story, and so on other things. We're gonna find two of the most creative stories that we're gonna see. Make sure you tag us. At Corey Perlman Speaks and at Delta Vacations U, and then Jess and I are gonna pick two and do a private consultation with you all. Okay, is that cool? You guys understand the assignment?
Sound like fun?
All right, everybody's gonna do it, promise? All right, did I forget to tell them anything about that?
No, it sounds great.
Okay, we've been through a lot with you so far. Let's do a very, very quick review.
Okay.
What was the first thing that we wanted to make sure that we wanted to accomplish today?
I think it's just narrowing down your keywords. Let's focus on those keywords that we want to use, and then we carry those across our profiles, in our captions, and all of our content.
So narrow your buyer and your keywords. The more narrow you get, the better. The riches are in the niches, as they say.
As they say.
What was the next thing after that?
I think it's then like utilizing some of the features, right? Let's make sure that we're bold with our feature usage and going deep into some of the profiles and the features they have, knowing that the algorithm will pay off.
Okay, so we wanted to end with something, you know, we don't want to just tell you all to do stuff and not do it ourselves. So what Jess and I did is we created a reel for you that pokes a little bit of fun at what I would say your competition. And so again, I think you all recognize that we are big fans of yours. So put your phones down, get ready to hopefully enjoy our dedication to you all. But this is Jess and I planning our Hawaiian vacation and deciding how to use a travel advisor or not. Hey babe, I am so excited about our trip to Hawaii.
Don't forget your lei. Oh my gosh, we've been thinking about this for years.
Oh man, I wonder, do you think we should just like plan it alone, or do you think that we should like use somebody to help us?
I don't know, what do you think?
I recommend Maui, although the only references I have are from 2021 and before. Is that okay? How about any nonstop flights? Hey, I got something for you. 3,276 flights, none of them connect. One lands in Des Moines, but hey, adventure, right? Okay, folks, not only do you have travel, but I got snacks. I got granola, I got a big bowl of breakfast cereal, and I got lemonade to fit your heart content. Let's try to narrow down these 3,276 options.
Oh yeah, we definitely want a nonstop flight. I've already booked you a nonstop flight, ocean view, private room in Maui, and a luau under the stars.
Not computing.
Oh yeah, are there excursions?
Ooh, I did find that there are volcanoes in Maui. I just can't tell you if they're erupting or not. Hey, all my volcano tours come with hidden fees. Psst, at least mine comes with bulk sunscreen. Booyah. Hey, easy buddy. I can make lists. Can you make lists? Oh, you can give lists? I can give thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of options.
Yes, that's true, but I can give them the right one. Like, who's gonna pick us up at the airport? How do we get from there to there?
Ah, I know what you want. You want me to make a haiku out of that, or a poem, right? Now, one thing I want to let you know, Essentia water will be on every trip that you go on. Just use code 2764325 and get your free bottle of water. What about my lifetime supply of free snacks? No? Yeah? No? Free snack? No? Oh, yours comes with snacks? Mine comes with water. Free samples? I got emojis, I got M-dashes. What else do you need?
Don't gamble your getaway. Choose a travel advisor.
I think we made the right choice.
I do too.
Travel advisor all the way.
We're booked and ready.
It's too bad. You could have gotten a pineapple haiku. Wait. Before you go, would you at least try the samples?
We had a lot of fun making that.
Thank you all for letting us be your travel guides today. We promised you the slides, so if you'd give us a moment, one more QR code there to just give us a little bit of feedback on what you thought of today. And I just want to leave you with one last thing, and that's just, a heartfelt moment just to let you all know that things are crazy right now, and we all know that, and it would be remiss to say that times are really tough in our country and in our world. And the reason I say that is we need you more than ever before. We need you for our mental health. We need to take breaks. We need to be with our families. We need to have shared experiences together. We need to make memories together, and you do that. So you are valuable, and we appreciate you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Good job, honey.
So
you guys are, yeah.
I was going to say, I think now you guys are ready to go to your classes. Anything available? I think you have a little bit of a break in between before you head to those.
See you at the classes.
And we'll see you guys there.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.